Great. Well, thanks very much. It's great to be here tonight. Excellent pitches. I was very impressed. I think I wish I had that kind of entrepreneurial experience when I was in high school. I wanted to tell you a little bit about my story and share some of my experiences, and most importantly, try to get engaged with you in terms of what questions you might have, understand where you want to go in terms of your future careers, and get a little bit more insight in terms of how we can help you build the next generation of these businesses for the future. For me, just to give you a little bit of my background, my first sales pitch was, this is me. Oh, actually, no. Actually, that's my sister. That's me. And my goal was simple. It was a goal-setting exercise. I wanted to upgrade that tricycle to a Honda 50. Did anyone of you have a Honda 50? Do you guys even know what a Honda 50 is? I just want to have a motorcycle when they were growing up. Got it. None of you had motorcycles? None of your parents had a motorcycle. So imagine a grade 2 student, which is how old I was back then, riding around on a Honda 50. And I was like, that was the goal. I was going to be the cool kid in town. That trike was no longer, it was a Honda 50. So I employed my sister. And if you can see it, we're selling Kool-Aid not for $10 or $20. I'm liking the pricing you guys are setting for these products. But for 20 cents a glass for tourists, 10 cents for locals. And if you do the math, $750 was the goal to raise. So you guys, how many have raised over $750 for their products? Sorry. Has anyone? All right, just a couple. So that's pretty impressive. And in my case, it took me a summer and a half to achieve that goal. And it wasn't until the second summer when I figured out, because my parents, by the way, made me rent the Kool-Aid stand, pay for the cooler, and rent the actual services of the location that I was in, and actually made sure I was paying for all the different supplies, and even had to pay for my sister to actually help out. So they were good educators trying to teach me how to build a business. And it wasn't until I figured out if you buy 10, I'll give you one for free, that everyone went wild. Like kids that would normally buy 1 cup a day were now running around trying to find whatever pennies they could find so they could get that 1 cup every day for free. And it helped me accelerate my goal to actually have to upgrade the actual trike. So that was my story as an entrepreneurial young student, way back when I was a grade 2. I never really did anything after that. I just thought that was something cool to do. I had set a simple goal. I achieved it. I kind of moved on. And it wasn't until I got into university that I went down a different path. Founded this company here called Desire2Learn. Now we're setting out to try to transform the teaching and learning experience for everybody around the world. Small little mission, but we're pretty passionate about what we do. We see students. How many of you feel like that's what sometimes they feel like when they take tests? You're all lined up taking tests. How many like that experience? No, we want learning to be a little bit more fun, a little bit more engaging. You still have to take tests occasionally, but we want to make it as an enjoyable experience as possible, help develop individuals. But how I got there was kind of like what you guys are going through with just Junior Achiever Program, which is a concept instead of problem solving. How many have been told you got to be good problem solvers? You've all been told that, right? Well, in my case, I went off to engineering school, thinking, okay, I'm going to go off and try to figure out how to be an engineer. I did system design engineering at Waterloo. And it wasn't until I started doing design projects, and one of the projects was go off and solve any problem you can think of. Any problem in the world, just come up with a great solution and present it back. And it was that little switch in my head that went from problem solving to problem finding that triggered my entrepreneurial journey. I was like, oh. So in my case, I went off and we went into the labs and we tried to reinvent crutches. Have anyone broken an ankle or sprained an ankle on crutches? It's painful, right? You can't go up and down stairs. You're kind of like stuck on them. You can actually get permanent nerve damage and blood vessel damage from leaning on them. Did you know that? Most people don't. It's like really sensitive skin underneath there. That's where all your nerves and your arteries go, and your veins. It's not a really good spot to actually lean. So went off and decided to come up with a new design, and we actually went all the way up to engineering competitions and won some great prizes. And just redesigned how the crutches actually operated, so you could have 3 different touch points versus 2, and you can get around, you can go up and down stairs, use less energy. It's an amazing design. And for me, it triggered the idea of, well, what else can I do? What other problems can I solve that will actually have a big impact on people around me, people's lives? And for me, that was the learning experience. And how many I remember thinking of becoming a doctor or want to go into medicine or something like that. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do too. And until my final year of engineering, when I started taking some anatomy courses, and I had to memorize these big textbooks of content. In high school, anyone probably had no problem memorizing whatever you put in front of the group that's in front of me here today. But I had that skill in high school. When I went in and did engineering, I started to apply myself versus always trying to remember every little fact. And it took a while for me to actually get my ability to remember things back again when I started taking anatomy. And I distilled down my anatomy textbooks into like basically a mind map. Basically, how to describe everything in your anatomy textbook in 12 pages or less was the concept that I came up with. And then it triggered for me, well, maybe what I should be doing is trying to apply my engineering skills, my talents there, to helping improve the educational experience. Collaborations, all these projects were team projects, right? Was it always easy to collaborate? Always easy to collaborate? No. Some people are nodding. I'm not really impressed with those guys. Building those skill sets that you're building right now today, incredibly important. One of the cool things that we do at this company is every semester or every 4 months, we give everybody in the R&D group the ability to take a week off to do something really cool. So they wanted to work on whatever project they want to work on, come up with some really creative, innovative solutions, and then present them back to the rest of the company to sort of get adoption. So instilling that collaboration is really important. I also think one of the key things that you need to develop as an individual is find out what you're passionate about. Does everyone know what they want to do in life? Everyone does? How many don't know what they want to do in life? Yeah, that was me until my 4th year of university, by the way. I had no clue what I wanted to do until I was about to graduate from university. So don't freak out if you don't know what you want to do yet. It takes time to figure out what you're passionate about. But if you do know, that's awesome. You can carry on and pursue that. But if you're going to go off and build a career, you want to find something you're really interested in. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be spending 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, 20 hours working on that particular area, and you want to be something that you really care about deeply. This is a picture of me. I grew up in on the far, far east coast of Canada in a small fishing village called Newfoundland.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that place before.
Place, province of Newfoundland, village of Westerville. And we used to have to shovel off the ice rinks there. There was no Zambonis that came around. We shared a set of hockey equipment between me and my brother and my sister and my other brother when he was too small to play in this case. But playing sports, getting engaged, persevering with your initiatives, it pays off. Music, arts, all these things teach you. And how many are a musician or an artist? Yeah, there's lots of you, right? It teaches you that if you put in the time and the energy, at the end of the day, it's something that's going to be really rewarding, doesn't it? So pursue those passions, pursue that experience, because that perseverance will help you a lot as you go through life. In my case, I went through lots of trials and tribulations as you build a company. We went from a small company of 1 or 2 people to now we have 400 people around the world. We have offices in Australia, Singapore, China, growing out everywhere. And you get challenged along the way, if you will. There's always going to be people that want to, beat you down or to take what you have built and try to take it away from you. And you've got to be able to persevere through that. And so, programs like sports and arts really make a big difference. In our case, we're trying to help improve outcomes, we're trying to help improve retention, we're trying to help develop individuals, prepare the next generation of learners, really try to transform the learning experience. How many can think of barriers that exist to getting a good educational experience? What would a barrier be? Never mind. Go ahead. Money? Money is a big challenge, right? Go ahead.
Bad teachers.
Bad teachers. We don't have any of those in this program, though, right?
Of course not. No.
Of course not. Yeah. Go ahead. Learning styles, troubles. Yeah. Go ahead. Learning. We have learning disabilities. Yeah. Disability. Go ahead. Location. Where you're from or where you are. Yeah. You guys are better than the university audiences that I talk to. This is awesome. Go ahead. Pardon me? I couldn't put it. Closed-minded. Yeah. Someone else had another one that you think of? Go ahead.
Gender.
Gender? Sure.